Okay, YouTubers, this is my video. This is my 1988 GL 1500 Goldwing, and I've replaced a couple sets of the side panels, and so I'm going to show you my permanent solution to stopping how to stop losing these side panels. Now, one thing you notice right off the bat is the holes that are there. You have a lot of high pressure air behind it. That's how they keep popping out. And most of your high pressure is on the back. You don't have near as much at the front. So if you don't want to drill holes on the front, I would advise just on the back. Now you see the matte look. I did spray, plastic spray. And every time I turn around, these were all marked up and shabby looking, and I got tired of that, so I did some things to I did that, and so far I don't have to worry about that stuff. I'll try out the clear later. Now that little trick is this. You see this little screw? It's a tiny screw, and that's a fender washer that goes through that little point that sticks into them D-rings. And let me pop that off. Still comes off pretty easily. You can use these little side holes, put your finger in, pulling boogers out. But I drilled a hole. You can see how that's busted off, and you can see the screw that comes through that right there. And yes, it was very hard to do, but it's as solid as a rock. These I've never had any problem with. Also, I keep new O-rings around too. These were as old as the bike was. The bike's 31 years old, and so I replaced these, and I keep a bag in my saddlebag. And a trick on the front, you can see how I got the Marklin pads. This slips behind that nut right there, that Allen nut, and I put a little trap door that locks in behind that, and this one was bad about popping out too, and that fixed that. I also sprayed this with the plastic coat, and it used to get scuffed up real bad. Now it looks good. Now the other side, I did another trick with my point right there to stop it from falling off, and it's actually a better design. So let's go over there and I'll show you how that one is fixed. As you can see here, I did the holes on it too to get the high pressure area. When I'm going down the road, I can put my hands and I can feel the air coming out of this, because air comes from behind the radiator and is pushed all the way through the bike, and that's why these get pressure behind it and they get popped out like that. So let me show you. You see, that one was a little bit harder to pop out. Okay, now as you can see on the front side, there's a nut. It's a little bit bigger, or I mean there's a bolt. But if you flip it over, you'll see that that's a 1/4-20, and it's designed where this was cut flat, the shoulder, and so this, the screw, remains flat, and I put that nut right there, and it fits in perfectly. And the grooves right here on this nut, when I hit this, they grip, and so this one really stays in good. And as you can see, there's a lot of open spaces for that air to press on this panel, and also, you know, again, keep good D-rings right there. And I painted these with a type of paint that doesn't scratch. And I know some people freak out because they only want chrome on there, but I get tired of my paint and chrome scratching, and so that's why I went with that. It took a lot of abuse, and after all these times I finally figured out how to fix these things where they work good. But you see, I used the round-headed ones usually have a fully threaded, they're fully threaded on the screw, and I'd say that one's probably what is that, 1.75 inches. But you can see that I wanted it square on that shoulder, and the head isn't square to that, but I still use a fender to spread the load out right there. And this one has worked really, really well for me. Stopped any problems. This last trip I took, we were 75 and 85 the whole way. Did a 1,500 mile trip at 75, 85 mile an hour on a GL 1500, and so that is a testament that these things do work. And you can see, like I said, after a three-day trip, the only reason they look dirty is because my hands got dust on them. But that is how you fix that problem and never have that problem again. So there you go, guys. Another good tip. And y'all be safe and have a good one. Bye.